After being rejected by the school beauty, I awakened. I discovered that I was the devoted male supporting character in a novel about a poor boy's reverse harem conquest of a goddess. I was deeply in love with the female lead and excessively wealthy, constantly throwing money to support the poor boy and the school beauty's love story. The two of them even stepped on the bones of my entire family to achieve a sweet, happy ending. Seriously? Picking on my family alone for wool to shear is just too much. I immediately cut off the poor boy's funding. Without money, let's see how you achieve a sweet novel ending. Xu Qian, I like you. Can you be my girlfriend? On the way home from school, I blocked Xu Qian's path, holding a purple rose in one hand and a sapphire necklace in the other as I confessed. Xu Qian was the school beauty and my secret crush. She was beautiful, did well in her studies, and was practically my dream girl. Xu Qian treated me differently from others. So to further solidify our relationship, I decided to confess to her after school today and officially make her my girlfriend. I had been preparing for this for half a month, sparing no expense to have her favorite purple roses flown in, and I also prepared a 5 million yuan sapphire necklace. Xu Qian seemed startled, looking at me with a pair of wet eyes, silent, which melted my heart. It was the time when school ended, and my confession attracted a crowd of onlookers, some even holding up their phones to take pictures, cheering Xu Qian on to accept me. Xu Qian bit her lower lip and whispered, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested in dating right now." That was a polite rejection. Although I was a little unhappy, I still tried my best to maintain my gentlemanly demeanor in front of the goddess and said, "It's okay, we can get to know each other first. What kind of guy do you like? I can become that." Although my confession was rejected, with my physical attributes and family background, I was confident that I would win the school beauty's heart sooner or later. At this moment, a figure suddenly pushed through the crowd and rushed over, knocking me to the ground before turning around to stand in front of Xu Qian. "Lin Zikuang, don't think you can do whatever you want just because you have some stinky money. Qian Qian is a good girl. You're in completely different worlds. Even if you pester her, it's useless because she looks down on people like you from the bottom of her heart." The necklace in my hand fell to the ground, making a crisp sound. At the same time, I awakened. The world I was in was just a book. Wang Huan, the impoverished student my family sponsored, was the male lead, the school beauty Xu Qian was the female lead, and I was just the devoted male supporting character, pointlessly and brainlessly falling for the school beauty, and then endlessly throwing money at the school beauty and the male lead. The male lead had no money for school. I sponsored him. The male lead's research project had no money. I sponsored him. The male lead went bankrupt and needed capital to make a comeback. I sponsored him. The female lead's father was sick and hospitalized, and I also took the initiative to pay the huge medical bills. Even their dates and hotel rooms were paid for with my card. I was so blinded by my love for the school beauty that I'd lost my mind. So even though I knew she and Wang Huan had an affair, I still, like a lovesick fool, listened to the school beauty's explanations, believing that they were innocent. Once the male lead stepped on my shoulders to climb into the ranks of the wealthy, he turned around and began to collude with the school beauty to ruthlessly attack my family. My dad would be forced to commit suicide by online bullying for scolding Wang Huan as useless. My mom would discover that Xu Qian was stealing company information and be pushed downstairs by Xu Qian. Becoming a vegetable, I would be slowly poisoned by Xu Qian, driven mad, locked in a mental hospital, and tortured day and night. My family suffered such an end because the male lead felt that my sponsorship back then was using money to humiliate him. He hated the ways of rich people like me the most, considering them hypocritical and disgusting. Later, after Xu Qian married me, his hatred for me was almost maxed out, believing that I was the reason he and Xu Qian became estranged, completely failing to consider that it was he who incited Xu Qian to marry me, so the two could collude to steal my family's wealth. As the devoted male supporting character in the novel, after I kicked the bucket, my inheritance will be taken over by my wife Xu Qian, and then the two of them would work together to become the richest people in the country, living a magnificent and extremely extravagant life. The two of them would continue to be lovey-dovey. Even if she escapes, he chases. She can't escape plot played out along the way, it wouldn't diminish their constant sugar sprinkling in the slightest. In the end, they would even have a pair of twins, a proper sweet novel ending. I carefully reviewed the plot, and I really want to swear. So, in order for the male and female leads to live a carefree, wealthy life, only one male supporting character has to pour out his heart, giving money, effort, and himself. Is the author just determined to bleed my entire family dry? Isn't this author a jerk? I blinked a few times to regain my senses and stood up with the help of a classmate. I casually dusted off my clothes and sneered. If she doesn't like me, does she like you then? Wang Huan and Xu Qian were standing very close together, so it was impossible to say they weren't familiar. Ever since Wang Huan appeared, Xu Qian had been giving off a flirtatious vibe. So, were they already together this early? With so many people watching, Wang Huan naturally couldn't admit anything. After all, Xu Qian was currently the school beauty, and she had a lot of admirers. Xu Qian naturally didn't want to lose her single goddess status, so she quickly explained, Lin, you've misunderstood. Ah Huan just thought you were bullying me. He came to help me. Wang Huan oomphed and, stiffening his neck, retorted, Qian is a pristine lotus flower on a snowy mountain. How could someone as materialistic as you be worthy of her? Lin Zikuang, just give up. Qian will never agree to be your girlfriend. A pristine lotus flower? I chuckled. I wouldn't even want a woman with such a venomous heart if you gave her to me. I was actually relieved that she hadn't agreed to be my girlfriend. So, she likes you then? Should I congratulate you on your upcoming wedding? I turned around and handed the purple roses to the classmate next to me. Hey, help me distribute these. The flowers are so beautiful. It's a waste. Every lady here can take a rose. My unexpected action caused a whoosh of excitement among the crowd, and some female students even loudly asked if I was serious. I wore a suitable smile on my face and tore the bouquet apart. What was I thinking with that love-struck brain? I'm fully awake now. This color of rose is rare, so as soon as the first girl came to take a flower, more girls came to take them until I was left with nothing but an empty plastic bag. Except for Xu Qian, every girl in the audience had a vibrant purple rose. Xu Qian's face turned a little ugly. Wang Huan, seeing that I had embarrassed Xu Qian, was displeased again and pointed at me, scolding, Lin Zikuang, what do you mean by this? These flowers were clearly for Qian. Why are you giving them to other people? Are you deliberately trying to embarrass Qian in front of so many people? Xu Qian didn't say anything. She stood behind Wang Huan with teary eyes, clearly agreeing with what he said. I stuffed the 5 million jewel necklace back into my pocket and said, unhurriedly, she rejected being my girlfriend, so I have the right to dispose of these things as I please. I can give them to whoever I want. Since you're going to give these things to Qian, they belong to Qian. Why are you giving them to other people? And the necklace in your pocket, it looks like it's barely worthy of Qian. You should hurry up and take it out and give it to Qian, and I'll even help you persuade Qian not to be angry with you. Wang Huan said unceremoniously, with a hint of greed flashing in his eyes. If the necklace was given to Xu Qian, Wang Huan would probably coax her into giving it to him. I wasn't stupid, so I wouldn't do that. I chuckled, I'm going to give this to my girlfriend. Xu Qian isn't my girlfriend, so why can't I give it to someone else? Don't you like Qian? Since you like her, then that thing is hers. Wang Huan looked at me, without moving, and became anxious, rushing forward to snatch the jewel necklace from my pocket. I anticipated his movement and slapped his hand away. I like her, but I don't like you. Why are you so eager to make a move? Did you want to be my girlfriend? Sorry, I don't like guys. I looked at my chest, as if there was something dirty on my clothes, and patted it hard a few times. The people around me laughed even louder when they heard what I said. Wang Huan's face twisted for a moment. With so many people watching, he couldn't really grab it, so he turned and forcefully pulled Xu Qian, wanting her to come out and cooperate. Even if Wang Huan didn't know the price of the necklace, he knew that anything I gave to Xu Qian wouldn't be cheap. Wang Huan's father owed a lot of money, and he desperately needed a necklace like that to alleviate his family's financial troubles. So, Wang Huan pinned his hopes on Xu Qian. Xu Qian had many admirers who gave her gifts, and the valuable ones would basically end up in Wang Huan's hands. I even saw the headphones I had given Xu Qian earlier being used by Wang Huan. Back then, I was lovesick as long as Xu Qian was happy. I didn't care about anything. Xu Qian was pulled between me and Wang Huan, and she pleaded in a soft voice, "Don't fight over me. Everyone is a classmate. We can talk things out." Those words were as green tea as they could be, and I even heard someone chuckle behind me. Xu Qian naturally heard the laughter, and her face paled immediately. She fixed her pitiful gaze on me. I simply ignored her. Wang Huan pushed Xu Qian forward not to say such nonsense. He gave Xu Qian a fierce look, then turned and shouted at me, "Lin Zikuang, haven't you transferred the money you promised to sponsor me this month yet? As long as you give me that necklace, the sponsorship money for this month can be cut in half, and you can transfer the rest in a few days. Also, I've had my eye on those sneakers and the latest phone model for a few days. You can send them over together later." Wang Huan's family circumstances weren't good. Wang Huan's mother died early, leaving behind a father who indulged in drinking, gambling, and prostitution. Not only did the family have no income, but they even owed a lot of people money. His living expenses and tuition were all sponsored by me, with money transferred directly from my account to his bank card every month. Although it wasn't much, it was enough for him to complete his studies without worrying about food and clothing. Sometimes he would ask for extra money to buy some daily necessities, and I would try my best to satisfy him, just so he could focus on his studies. At the time, I thought Wang Huan was truly a talented person, and Xu Qian was also coaxing me on the side, saying good things about Wang Huan. I really believed that once Wang Huan completed his studies, he could contribute to my Lin family's business, so I considered everything he wanted as an advance investment. Anyway, I was like a complete idiot, giving Wang Huan whatever he asked for. Sometimes, when he wanted too much money, Wang Huan would have Xu Qian come over to say nice things to me and make me happy. I was love-struck and got Xu Qian to coax me into transferring tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, to Wang Huan. Wang Huan used all this money to buy brand-name clothes and sneakers, and to treat his cronies to meals, living it up to the point that Wang Huan, a poor student, had built a reputation as a rich second-generation student at the school. Wang Huan had tricked and deceived me out of so much money, but he still thought I was humiliating him and demeaning his dignity. He truly was an ungrateful wretch. Listening to Wang Huan's words, I just wanted to burst out laughing. The guy has some nerve. He couldn't bear to part with the expensive 5 million necklace, but he also couldn't give up the petty monthly gain of 3,000. Sure enough, a person's greed has no bottom line or limit. You're not getting the necklace, and you're definitely not getting any more money. It seems your riches have blinded you. You really think you're some kind of second-generation rich kid. I had already decided never to give Wang Huan another cent, so I directly made a phone call in front of him and canceled his sponsorship. If Wang Huan still had 2 shreds of reason before, then upon hearing me say I was canceling the sponsorship, the last of his reason instantly shattered. "Lin Zikuang, what right do you have to cancel my sponsorship? What qualifications do you have to do this?" Wang Huan shouted at me, and if Xu Qian wasn't standing between us, I reckon he would have come over and hit me. "By right of being the person who sponsors you," I said, picking at my ear. "Necklaces, sneakers, phones, I can't give you all that, so I don't want to sponsor you anymore. You should go work and earn money yourself. You're stopping my sponsorship just because of this?" Wang Huan's eyes widened. "I'm about to graduate. Once I get into a good university, will my value be higher than all these things? Didn't you always want me to work at the Lin Corporation? If you ruin my future like this, how will I serve the Lin Corporation?" Back then, Xu Qian had used the same reason to get me to give Wang Huan money. I carelessly picked at my ear. So what? Doesn't he think my sponsoring him is insulting him with money? I'm just taking this opportunity to end that insult. Besides, my Lin family is big and powerful. Finding another high-achieving student to sponsor isn't a problem. It's better than being scammed to death by Wang Huan. Wang Huan took a deep breath, as if trying to suppress his anger. "Lin Zikuang, I'll give you one more chance. Give me the necklace, continue the sponsorship, and I'll pretend this never happened. The sneakers and phone I wanted could be postponed for a while. You have hands and feet. Why can't you get a part-time job to support yourself? My money is for sponsoring those in need, not for feeding ingrates." I didn't want to say anything more to Wang Huan. I turned around and left, letting him scream and shout behind me. I want to see how Wang Huan and Xu Qian, this male and female lead pair, can live a sweet romance ending without me as their money bag. Later, Wang Huan kept calling and messaging me. None of it nice. Without a second thought, I blocked all his contact information. I went to school and back normally, burying myself in studies during my free time, not like before when I foolishly chased after Xu Qian. My childhood friend, Guoliang, who sat next to me, saw me memorizing vocabulary and was so surprised that he touched my forehead to see if I had a fever, to the point where my love-addled brain was burned out. I chuckled bitterly. Without explaining, I studied the knowledge in the textbooks while slowly familiarizing myself with the company's business. My parents didn't say anything, turning a blind eye and letting me do what I wanted. One day after school, Xu Qian directly blocked my path. Her pearly teeth were biting her lip, looking a little timid. "Lin, can I talk to you for a moment?" My childhood friend winked at me and, understanding the situation, patted me on the shoulder and left, leaving just Xu Qian and me in place. Looking at Xu Qian, so delicate and innocent like a white flower, I thought about the things she would do to my mother in the future. The love I had initially felt for her was instantly strangled to death. "Xu, what do you need from me?" I asked with a slightly cold tone. "Could you lend me 500,000? I need it urgently." Xu Qian wrung her hands, her head lowered, not daring to look at me. I could roughly guess why Xu Qian needed the money urgently, and directly refused. "I don't have the money." Xu Qian instantly became anxious. "You bought that necklace for millions yesterday, and I'm just asking to borrow 500,000. You can't even do that?" "Wang Huan asked you to come and borrow money, didn't he?" I said bluntly. "My answer is still the same. I don't have the money." Xu Qian pleaded bitterly in front of me. "Can't you save Huan? His father owes so much money. If he can't pay it back, those people will beat him to death. Your family is so rich. It's just a mere 500,000. It's not like you can't take it out. Why can't you help Huan?" What kind of thinking is that? I laughed in anger. My money is my business. His debt is his business. He's not related to me. Why should he just ask for 500,000 of my money and throw it down the drain? Can he even pay it back? With Wang Huan's current financial situation, he probably couldn't even come up with 10,000, let alone 500,000. I can write you an IOU. I can use myself as collateral." Xu Qian said with tears in her eyes. "Don't you like me? As long as you give me 500,000, I can spend a night with you. If it were in the past, I would have been so happy I'd be dizzy. After all, it's just 500,000, but you can't buy a goddess getting this close. But now, I've hammered that love-addled brain to death." Hearing Xu Qian's words, I suddenly took a big step back, widening the distance between us. I'm not worried about her lying on the ground to extort money. I'm afraid she'll tear her clothes and try to pin it on me. The expression on Xu Qian's face was a little lonely, looking like she was about to cry. I was determined that even if Xu Qian cried to death here, I wouldn't go over. Xu Qian didn't try to tear her clothes. She knelt directly on both knees in front of me, kowtowing as she said, "Lin Zikuang, I know you can save Huan. I'll do anything you want, as long as you can help Huan through this crisis. Please, save Huan." I retreated more than 10 steps in a row, creating a long distance of rejection between Xu Qian and me. It's not that I don't want to, but I really can't help. Although the sight of a beauty in tears was very tempting, I still shook my head in refusal. Wang Huan's family was a bottomless pit, and I wasn't willing to give money to thankless people again. The money I had given to Wang Huan in the past had long exceeded 500,000. Money that is easily obtained is naturally not cherished, so the Wang family father and son only spent money more extravagantly, resulting in more and more debt. It was all their own doing, and it had nothing to do with me. Suddenly, someone rushed out and hugged Xu Qian in his arms. "Qian, we won't beg him. I don't want you to humiliate yourself so much to beg him. You're a good girl. I'm not worth you doing this for." Xu Qian seemed to have suffered a great grievance and buried her head in Wang Huan's arms, sobbing. Wang Huan's eyes were red, and he stared at me intently. "Lin Zikuang, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. You keep saying you like Qian. How can you bear to let Qian kneel on the cold floor? And let Qian kowtow to you? Someone like you doesn't deserve to like Qian." I shrugged my shoulders. She didn't kneel for me. Why should I feel bad? What I said was the truth, but Wang Huan acted like he was stepped on his tail. If you hadn't cut off my support, causing me to have no money to repay the debt, why would China come to beg you out of pity for me? It's all your fault. He was trying to put the blame on me. You're covered in brand name clothes. Even your phone is the latest model. Do you look like someone who needs financial support? I glanced at Wang Huan askance. Even borrowing money requires a woman to step up. You're such a good-for-nothing. Wang Huan was so angry that he wanted to rush over and hit me, but he was held back tightly by Xu Qian. I felt extremely happy to be able to anger Wang Huan. Humming a song, I left. Since Wang Huan couldn't get money from me, he had to sell his sneakers and old phone cheaply on his friend's timeline. Those sneakers were all limited editions, and he didn't usually cherish them, so the shoe uppers were badly damaged. Even with repeated discounts, no one wanted them. The phone looked good on the outside, but after all, it was an electronic product, and the rate of updates was fast, so it wasn't worth much money. In total, Wang Huan didn't even raise 20,000. As soon as he sold everything, his own living expenses were not settled, and the money was snatched away by the creditors. I just smiled when I heard Guoliang tell me about it. In the past, I would have helped the Wang family fill this big hole, but now I didn't want to take out the money, and Wang Huan could only live frugally a few days after school before I could get on the car to go home. Wang Huan and a middle-aged man blocked me at the school gate. You are the young master of the Lin family? I'm Wang Huan's father. Wang's father bent slightly and smiled at me ingratiatingly. I heard that this brat Wang Huan is trying to steal your woman. So you cut off his funding? Young Master Lin, don't worry. As long as you continue to fund this brat, I guarantee he won't steal your woman. Wang Huan stood beside his father, looking humiliated, and glared at me when he heard his father's words. Lin Zikuang, don't waste your time. Qian loves me. Even if you get her body, you won't get her heart. Wang's father was startled by Wang Huan's words and slapped him directly. I told you not to talk. Are you deaf? Wang's father was furious and even kicked Wang Huan. Wang Huan was kicked to the ground. Although he didn't say anything, his eyes revealed obvious hatred. I hadn't even done anything, and this person already hated me to the bone. He really was an ungrateful wretch. What exactly do you want from me? I looked coldly at the farce in front of me. Anyway, I only have one sentence, no money. Wang's father's face changed instantly, and then he seemed to think of something and said to me, Young Master Lin, how about this? Give me $1 million, and I'll have this brat send that girl to your bed. $1 million won't do, but 200,000 should be enough, right? I asked Wang Huan, and he hasn't touched that girl. She's still a virgin. I almost vomited in disgust. The fact that Xu Qian was willing to kneel and ask me for money told me that Xu Qian loved Wang Huan. But now Wang Huan was actually letting his father sell Xu Qian off with a clear price tag. This kind of love was truly disgusting. Wang Huan sat on the ground with his head lowered, not saying a word. I lowered my eyes and smiled slightly, bargaining. That girl doesn't like me. Just like Wang Huan said, even if I get her body, I won't get her heart. Wang's father lowered his voice and leaned close to me. Is that so difficult? When the time comes, don't use protection. Just get her pregnant. As long as you have a child, you won't have to worry about keeping her heart, will you? Women are all cheap. If she dares to run, just break her legs. Wang's father's voice was not too loud or too soft. Not only did I hear it clearly, but Wang Huan on the ground also heard it clearly. Wang Huan looked at me and Wang's father with hatred, as if he wanted to stab us both to death with a knife. I chuckled softly, without the slightest fear, and praised Uncle Wang. You thought everything through so well. Of course, it's just a woman. Your uncle has lived most of his life. What methods haven't I got? And I've met that girl a few times. She's fair and tender and really beautiful. Most importantly, she's completely devoted to my brat, willing to do anything. So you can rest assured, Uncle guarantees you won't have any worries. Wang's father took out a room card from his pocket, and while speaking, stuffed it into my pocket. 9 o'clock tonight, waiting for you. Wang's father winked at me in a good mood, making me feel a chill. With the matter settled, Wang's father was too lazy to pay attention to Wang Huan on the ground, humming a little song and kicking Wang Huan again before leaving. After Wang's father left, Wang Huan jumped up from the ground and reached out to snatch the room card from my pocket. Don't think that you can get Xu Qian by doing this. Xu Qian loves me. I won't let you hurt her. I punched Wang Huan directly in the chin, forcing him to retreat 2 steps. Then I threw the room card at his feet and said disdainfully, "Do you think this is hurting Xu Qian now? Then why did you pretend to be dead just now and let your father sell Xu Qian to me for 200,000? I have no interest in participating in your messed up affairs. You handle Xu Qian's side yourself." I'll say it again, no money. They can do whatever they want. Anyway, I won't spend another cent on the male and female leads. The money my family worked so hard to earn didn't fall from the sky. Why would I give it away for no reason? The male and female leads business. I won't participate or interfere. I'll just watch the show. Wang Huan didn't say anything. He picked up the room card and walked away dejectedly. I didn't take this matter to heart, but the next day, neither of them came to class. It was already a week after Wang Huan and Xu Qian had returned to class. During this time, the two seemed to have confirmed their relationship, shamelessly flaunting their affection in front of their classmates. Guoliang watched the two in the distance, whispering and laughing loudly. Even drinking from the same cup, he poked my arm. "Xu Qian, has the unattainable beauty been plucked?" My head was full of calculations, so I casually replied, "Looks like it. Brother, how are you feeling now? Heavy breathing? Or heart pain?" I glared at Guoliang, annoyed. "If you have so much free time, you might as well memorize a few more units. Exams are coming up." Guoliang waved his hand. "Words aren't as important as my brother. Don't you also like the school beauty? I'm afraid you'll be too heartbroken from being dumped. I just want to comfort you." I almost laughed out loud and directly spread my English book flat in front of Guoliang. "As long as you can memorize all the English words, my heartbreak will be completely cured." Guoliang looked like he was bravely facing death. "For you, brother, I can definitely memorize them." I smiled and continued to bury myself in studying. I deeply understood one hard truth. Only knowledge can make me stronger. The news of Xu Qian and Wang Huan's relationship spread throughout the school in no time. Many admirers were indignant, thinking that Wang Huan was not worthy of Xu Qian at all, but the fact that the school beauty had a boyfriend was undeniable. Wang Huan also became a prominent figure in the school. They dated, I studied, and we didn't bother each other. For a time, everyone was at peace. However, one day a month later, Wang's father blocked me again near the school gate. Wang's father's expression wasn't good, even a little ugly. "Isn't young Master Lin going back on his word? You promised me 200,000, and it's been a month. Where's the money?" I casually put my hand in my pocket and asked indifferently, "What 200,000? Wang's father's eyes widened, and he said fiercely, "Wasn't it agreed? If I put that girl in your bed, you'd give me 200,000. Now you've slept with the woman, and you don't want to pay the bill?" Oh, so he was talking about that. I spread my hands and said directly, "I didn't go to that room, so naturally there's no money." "You're lying." Wang's father spat at me and cursed. I already had that brat trick her into the hotel. I watched the girl drink the sleeping pill-laced drink. The next day, that brat came back and said it was a success. How could you not have been there? Wang's father's words instantly made me realize something. So Xu Qian did appear in the hotel room, and Wang Huan was there too. Considering the two's recent high-profile displays of affection, I suddenly understood. Since Wang Huan told you it was a success, then you should ask him what exactly happened then. I shrugged, looking innocent. I returned the room card to Wang Huan. I don't even remember the room number. How could I have been there? Then, Wang's father was also a shrewd person, and he instantly guessed a possibility. "I'm going to find that bastard right now and ask him clearly." Wang's father walked back, cursing loudly and fiercely, looking like he was going to give Wang Huan a hard time. Anyway, it had nothing to do with me. I turned around and went home directly, but this matter wasn't over. That night, I received a call from a strange number. "Lin Zikuang, Qian is pregnant with your child. Immediately transfer 100,000 yuan to my account for nutrition expenses. Qian is weak and needs proper care. Transfer another 200,000 yuan in a few days, and then 500,000 yuan to my account every month." I recognized the voice as Wang Huan, but I didn't recognize the words he was saying. "I haven't even touched Xu Qian. How could she be pregnant with my child?" I retorted sarcastically. Are you daydreaming? Oh, sorry, I forgot it's nighttime. Dreaming is to be expected. Wang Huan took several deep breaths after my retort before calming down and saying, either you do as I say and obediently transfer 100,000 yuan for nutrition or face the consequences. I hadn't done anything, so what consequences was I afraid of? I directly cursed Wang Huan as an idiot and hung up the phone. Wang Huan's words really infuriated me. Was he a lunatic? I hadn't even held Xu Qian's hand, and he just wanted me to be a dad out of nowhere. Didn't he think about my feelings? Not long after I hung up on Wang Huan, another strange number called. As soon as I answered, Wang's father's furious voice came through the phone. Young Master Lin, you're not being very ethical. You got that girl pregnant, and you still lied to me, saying you didn't go into the room with her? Let me tell you, if you don't give me 800,000 yuan for hush money, I'll tell everyone that you two are together. I even have pictures of the girl. I advise you to think carefully. Were these two trying to treat me like a fool, asking for money one after another? You should go ask your son, I said, cursing as I hung up the phone. But the person who called was persistent and kept calling again and again. I simply turned off my phone and went to sleep. The next day, when I turned my phone back on, countless messages flooded in, causing it to freeze for a full half hour. I filtered out some of the strange numbers of messages and directly called Guo Liang. This kid had been frantically calling me since dawn. Something must have happened. The call connected quickly. Ancestor, you finally turned on your phone. Did you see the messages I sent you? That brat Wang Huan is messing with you, saying you raped Xu Qian and got her pregnant. They're currently smearing your name online like crazy. You should go take a look. After hanging up the phone, I clicked on the link Guo Liang sent. As soon as I entered the live stream, I saw Xu Qian with tears streaming down her face and Wang Huan with an angry expression. They were smart. The title was very eye-catching. Lin Group's young master drugged and raped a girl, causing pregnancy. Because it bore the name of the Lin Group, many unsuspecting netizens poured into the live stream. I looked at the comments, which were filled with insults against the Lin Group and me. Fortunately, my parents were traveling abroad. Otherwise, seeing these words would surely make them sick with anger. The two were doing the live stream wearing school uniforms, singing in harmony to portray me as a rich second generation who relies on money to bully people and who drugged and raped the goddess after his pursuit of love failed. They said it with such detail, describing my figure and appearance clearly, almost revealing my ID card. While I was happily watching the two act, my assistant called to say that because of the live stream, many people were flooding the Lin Group's official website to leave messages, asking if I wanted to do emergency public relations. I told the assistant to wait. If you want someone to be crazy, you naturally have to let them stand at the highest position first and enjoy things they usually don't have. This matter escalated quickly. Wang Huan didn't know where he got such a bad idea, asking netizens to crowdfund a lawsuit for him, and then saying that Xu Qian's health was poor and she needed a lot of money for prenatal care. Then he portrayed himself as a devoted lover, saying that no matter what Xu Qian became or what inhuman treatment she suffered, he would always be by her side. This wave of operations did attract many fans, and even businesses that smelled the heat came to Wang Huan for endorsements. Wang Huan wasn't too bad looking, and Xu Qian was even a school beauty. A talented man and a beautiful woman were indeed very eye-catching. After tasting the benefits of selling goods, the two simply stopped going to school and devoted themselves to selling goods in the live stream all day long. The internet updates quickly. Because the Lin Group had not responded, the heat of this matter subsided in less than a month, and some netizens even came to their senses and questioned them why they didn't call the police. After all, drugging and raping a girl is a sure win case. Wang Huan and Xu Qian didn't dare to answer these questions and could only pretend they didn't see them and continue selling goods. Over time, the live stream lost many fans. Wang Huan, anxious about the rapidly declining number of viewers in the live stream, had no choice but to turn his attention back to me. Wang Huan and Xu Qian were holding up their phones, live streaming as they knocked on my door. They knocked for 5 minutes before I finally returned, exhausted from working overtime. I already knew Wang Huan wouldn't give up trying to fleece me, so I wasn't surprised by their sudden visit. Lin Zikuang, you heartless jerk, you finally show your face. You think you can hurt Qian just because you have money. We're just ordinary people and can't fight against someone rich like you. But I believe in the power of the internet. They'll help us get justice. As soon as Wang Huan saw me, he loudly accused me to start the topic. Xu Qian seemed to be thriving on love recently, and combined with her pregnancy, her previously childish face had a visible maternal glow. I rubbed my forehead, feeling a headache coming on. You say I hurt Xu Qian, where's the proof? If you don't have any, I'll have my lawyers sue you for defamation. Wang Huan seemed to expect me to say that, and he became excited, shouting, you think you're so great because you have money, always threatening to sue us. Let me tell you, the baby in Qian's belly is the proof. It's proof that you hurt Qian. Xu Qian lowered her head and cried at the right moment, as if trying to solidify my guilt. I saw that the comments in Wang Huan's live stream were unanimously cursing me. I smiled slightly at the camera, took out my phone, and said clearly, word by word, your father asked me for 200,000 yuan to put Xu Qian in my bed. I was still in love with Xu Qian at the time, so I was momentarily tempted and didn't refuse immediately. But after your father left, I returned the room card to you and told you to take good care of Xu Qian. Is this how you're taking care of her? Xu Qian suddenly looked up, staring at Wang Huan in disbelief. Wang Huan, didn't you say Lin Zikuang wanted to drug me, and you stepped in to save me? Xu Qian asked expressionlessly. What's with the 200,000 yuan? Wang Huan looked flustered and quickly explained, Qian, you'd rather believe him than believe me? Lin Zikuang has always had ulterior motives towards you. Only my love for you is pure. Ugh, Bude, who are you trying to disgust here? There are security cameras at the school gate, so I held my phone up and played the footage from that day. Although it was noisy after school, Wang's father's words could still be heard clearly from the phone. Xu Qian's face instantly turned pale, and she subconsciously covered her stomach with her hands. Wang Huan, I gave you my heart, and this is how you repay me? Being questioned by Xu Qian like this, Wang Huan's forehead was covered in sweat. It's not like that. Qian, let me explain. What's there to explain? Xu Qian said loudly, you tricked me into drinking that drink and made me pass out, all for 200,000 yuan to put me in Lin Zikuang's bed. If Lin Zikuang hadn't refused, wouldn't my life have been ruined? You told me you rescued me from Lin Zikuang's clutches, which is why I was momentarily touched and got into a relationship with you in a daze. Wang Huan, you lied to me so badly. Xu Qian cried heart-wrenchingly and finally slapped Wang Huan in the face. Wang Huan's lips moved, wanting to explain, but not knowing where to start. Xu Qian's parents finally arrived, crying and taking Xu Qian away from Wang Huan's side. Xu Qian was originally a promising school beauty, but Wang Huan ruined her studies and even got her pregnant at a young age. Before leaving, Xu Qian's father kicked Wang Huan in anger, then took his daughter away cursing. Xu Qian was afraid to contact her parents after getting pregnant, and Wang Huan confiscated Xu Qian's phone to make money from the live stream, so Xu Qian's parents hadn't been able to reach her. Naturally, I took care of this matter. I figured Wang Huan would come looking for me, so I contacted Xu Qian's parents first. That's how Xu Qian's parents caught up with Xu Qian. Wang Huan was doing a live broadcast, so the entire course of events was broadcast live. Even if Wang Huan wanted to explain, he couldn't make up a lie to cover it up. I grinned at Wang Huan, smiling at his face as I directly used the Lin Corporation's official account to post a video. This video was an excerpt from surveillance footage, showing Wang Huan and Xu Qian walking out of a hotel room in disheveled clothing. All the rumors were instantly dispelled. Netizens in the front row eating melon seeds saw the video and naturally understood the whole truth, flocking to Wang Huan's live broadcast room to scold him. Wang Huan was forced to end the broadcast in a hurry. He looked at me with bloodshot eyes, his face twisted. Lin Zikuang, it's all your fault. I'm going to kill you. Wang Huan pulled out a fruit knife from his pocket and lunged at me. But before he could touch the hem of my clothes, he was restrained by the bodyguards. I directly sent Wang Huan in for intentional assault and battery. Everything seemed to return to normal. Xu Qian applied to drop out of school, I heard she didn't want the child, had an operation, and was sent abroad. Before she left, she sent me a message saying sorry for helping Wang Huan do so many wrong things. I quickly replied, "It's okay, Student Xu. You were just deceived. I'll still be waiting for you." Xu Qian never replied again. I am still the affectionate male supporting character in this book, deeply in love with the female lead and overly clear-headed.